Welcome back to Celebrity Radio. It's Alex Belfield back in Las Vegas at one of the newest shows to move to the Stratosphere, which is called MJ Live. It stars a man who is a remarkable talent who's dedicated his life to the craft of imitating, impersonating, and becoming Michael Jackson. Jalles Franca, how are you?
I'm good. How are you, man? Glad to be here, guys.
I am delicious. And seeing you in this show is really tremendous because, I mean, you are Michael Jackson when you're on that stage. You become him, don't you?
I guess I do my best to become Michael, I just kind of forget what Jalles, and just try to step into Michael's shoes as best as I possibly can.
The great news is you don't need to go to the gym because this is a workout.
It is a workout, however, I still work out outside here, yeah.
It's an amazing show, and of course it's very loud, and the band, of course, really are the backbone of this show, where they give you this amazing soundtrack. And then it's up to you to dance the show and sing the show. What's more difficult, singing or dancing it?
It's a combination of both. For myself, I'm a dancer who got into singing after, but I've always been a dancer at heart. I'm Brazilian, so in my country, we were all born with a little bit of dancing ourselves. Carnival is huge in Brazil, but I came into this as a dancer who had to learn how to sing. And singing is very hard, but when you combine dancing, especially Michael Jackson dancing, where you have to do the impossible and spin, and it's very hard, so like I said, I do the best I can.
Well, I absolutely give you 10 out of 10 for your dancing. It is remarkable, and it's an hour-packed show, really, of all killer, no filler, isn't it? I mean, you start at the beginning and you don't stop until you come off.
There is no breaks. I mean, if you guys, when I'm in the back, I'm pretty much standing there as someone is holding my microphone, and I'm changing jackets and pants. As you guys can hear me, I'm yelling or screaming or shouting. It never really stops for me. This is the first time that I'm actually sitting.
I wonder what a vocal coach would think about all that screaming, because it can't be great for the voice. I mean, I know you've got to do it because that's what Michael did, but it's a strain, isn't it?
As a matter of fact, it is. I mean, funny to say, yesterday, my vocal coach is actually Michael Jackson's vocal coach and backup singer, Mr. Romeo Johnson, who also is the vocal coach for all the performers and contestants in that little show that's called The Voice. Very big show, and he was actually here yesterday. He's the one who coached me, and he's the one who actually still coaches me. And but it definitely is a strain. Like right now, I just try to ease on my voice because I have another show tomorrow. And when we do 2-3 shows, by the second, third show, I'm pretty much out of because you have to yell, you have to scream, And luckily, we have really good sound people that can actually help, because the technology actually really helps as well. We don't have to really scream as much as we used to back in the day, so it helps a lot.
He changed his style through the years, and you hear that in the songs, and I guess in the way you have to sing them is very relevant to each song through the show.
Oh, absolutely. You got to keep it 100% Michael Jackson. I'm a big fan of the 80s, the bad tour. If you notice, my costumes are pretty much my leotard, my hairstyles, everything. I do nothing that Michael Jackson didn't do. I perform as Michael, and I try to keep it 110% Michael Jackson, because the goal is for people to watch the show and feel as they're watching Michael. Again, I'm not saying that I am Michael, but I try to portray Michael the best way that I possibly can, and that's our goal.
Do you believe you were born to do this and be this? Because, I mean, it's not something that any old person can do. I mean, you've got his shape, you've got his frame, you've got his height, and you've pulled off the act. It's an uncanny coincidence, isn't it?
I guess so. I mean, I think God gives you a gift, and you'd be a fool not to take advantage of it. For instance, Michael Jackson was born to do what he did. Can you imagine Michael Jackson just being a lawyer? We don't need more lawyers. We need Michael. You know what I mean? What a waste of talent that would be. I don't know how to do anything else. Not that I can't do anything else. I'm sure if I put my mind to it, I can learn. But there's no better feeling in the world than to do something you truly love, and it warms my heart when I see people smiling, and it makes me very happy to do what I do. So I believe God made me do this for a reason, and here I am.
Did you get to meet him?
I got to meet Michael, yes, absolutely, twice. Yes.
What was he like privately? Because I hear different stories. I was hearing Howard Stern telling a story about meeting him once, and he was sort of remote and distant, but maybe that's because that was him. How did you find him?
Well, I mean, when you're born like Michael was, in a spotlight since he was 6 years old and on, I mean, you're instantly different. I kind of relate to it a little bit, a tiny percentage, because I know what it's like. It's Michael Jackson, and when I met him, the first time I met him, I was a a salesperson in a store, and he walked in and he was shopping, and our manager there at the time said, don't even look at him, don't make eye contact. And we're like, okay, whatever, and I was a huge fan. And he came in and he was wearing his standard stuff, not anything fancy, just black slacks and a red t-shirt, his fedora. And I was standing pretty close to him. I just couldn't help it but to say something, and I said, hi, I love your fedora. That's what I could manage to say. And he looked up, looked at me, and he just took his hand out and he's like, thank you, what's your name? And then I say, I'm Jalles. And it was a very brief thing, and I looked at my manager and she had the look of like, you're so done. Yeah. And as a matter of fact, as soon as Michael left, I was called up to the office, and I was let go that day. But to me, it didn't matter, because hey, do I keep this job or do I get to be Michael? It was totally worth it.
Do you think he became the legend? Because I listened to that affectation that you do at the beginning, and it is sort of mocking him in a way, because he had that very light voice. I mean, was that the real Michael, or was that just the act that he became?
Singers that are real singers, they know. I mean, for instance, Celine Dion, Mariah Carey, all these people that actually have big voices right before their performances, I mean, they don't even speak, they rest their voice. Michael, back in the 80s, even in the 90s, in the Dangerous tour, he would do 2 shows a night or 2 shows a day. The way Michael sang, by the time when he was finished with his shows, his voice was done. So you can't help but to speak lightly, because it hurts. You can't. The more you force your voice, the worse it is. But the thing that people say, oh, he was trying to be a child, he was speaking like softly like a kid, we'll never really know. Only Michael really would know that. But looking from a singer's point of view, not just myself, but everyone else who makes a living by singing, know that that's a fact. That just like if you got to use your muscles to lift something for a living or whatever, you're not gonna overdo it, because then you can't work tomorrow. So Michael was very self-spoken. He wasn't gonna speak to people at the same tone than when he was singing, because that's just way too high. But it's not because he was trying to be a kid. Absolutely not. When I spoke to him, he did have a soft voice, but he wasn't that soft childlike voice that everybody portrays, which is a big lie. Everybody can, you would hear Michael doing his interviews, and I'm sure to a certain extent he would probably, say this and say that, maybe he was onto something. But in reality, like right now, I don't want to speak any louder than this, because it actually hurts a little bit. You know what I mean?
I totally get that. When you look at yourself in the mirror before a show, is it kind of spooky? Because, I mean, you are looking at yourself back as Michael Jackson, and then now you've got to become this character. It's a strange way to earn a living, isn't it?
It's not strange at all. I mean, I love it. I think it's great. As a matter of fact, I'm in all makeup just about every day. Yeah. I put on Michael music, whether I'm either watching on a DVD or I'm listening to Michael every single time I do my makeup, because it gets me in a mood. It makes me, some people wake up and like, oh, I gotta go to work. I don't ever have that feeling. I never once, may God take my life now, I've never had that feeling like, oh, God, I got to do another show. I absolutely can't wait to get on stage and do that.
And I think that's the greatest compliment I can pay you tonight. I've seen 50 shows this trip, and a lot of people look like they've done it 50 times that week and that they're bored, and you didn't do that tonight. And I think that's the greatest compliment I can pay. Your dancing is exceptional. And this show really is fun for anybody who loves his music. I mean, I'm a huge fan, and this sound system really enhances your performance, because the band are great.
Absolutely. I mean, it's a team effort, like when people come here and they see Michael, they see myself on stage, this show isn't just about me. It's the dancers, the musicians, even the people that work with us in the back, such as Scott, BB, everybody that it's a team effort. I couldn't possibly do the show by myself. And just like I said, with the technology, yeah, we can sing, we can yell, we can dance, but we need lighting, we need smoke, we need sound, we need the team to make any production come alive.
You are exactly what this town was built for, a unique performer who has an exceptional ability to entertain people, and that's what you do. Jalles Franca's here at the Stratosphere at MJ Live. It's on at 7 p.m. nightly. Thank you so much.
7 p.m. nightly, every night here at the Stratosphere Hotel and Casino. And I just want to say hello to everybody at UK. Thank you very much. I love you. And hopefully one day we'll be there. I've never been there. I would love to go one day and just perform for you guys.
We'd love to see you. Thanks for your time.
God bless you. Thank you.